When the novice monk Alban starts hearing a strange voice in his head, he thinks that he is doomed. Unfortunately, the truth is worse. The goddess of death has chosen him to be her prophet, and it's now on him to save the dead, and the living if possible, and do his best to live up to prophethood in the process. An epic high fantasy story featuring a reluctant prophet, an inscrutable goddess, talking goats, bees, and the learning of wisdom, or something just as good. Get it now on your preferred ebook store. Hello everyone who is disillusioned and doesn't believe in ships anymore. I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. Another campaign commentary. This time, we're having a go at the Steel Striders. And, as I said before, I don't believe in ships anymore, and I'm not gonna lie folks, this was a bit of a slog. Most of this campaign playthrough has been cut out of this video. You're not going to see it, because I was mostly waiting around for resources to get accumulated. And that is entirely my fault, because I have a big ship, and I needed to test it. And I don't think it worked out very well, unfortunately. But, we'll get there. For a start, this is where you start. We're the White Flayers, and this is where footage gets sped up a little bit. First things first, Ailstorm Gremlin, absolutely do need that. Probably one of the best starter vehicles I've ever made, to be perfectly honest. Metal Fleet would not be the same without it. And yeah, first things first, secure resource zone, that's what you do. And I have played through the Steel Striders like mini-campaign before. In fact, I roleplayed as the White Flayers. I like built vehicles in their style, or at least about like 3 of them. I need to go track down the Cathar in particular, because that was a big thing. And, yep, there was a jump there. There was a lot of waiting around in this. So, even with sped-up footage, I personally wouldn't want to sit through it. So, like, yeah, trust me, you're not missing much. It's just me clicking around on the map and doing things. But, yeah, just building up the economy, building up the logistics, getting ready to be aggressive early. Because the thing about playing on the hardest difficulty, they will send big stuff at you if you let them build up enough resources. I think I got lucky this time. Right, and this first fight, by the way, is against, like, it's fun doing those, like, the stupid, like, mini-tournament things, because I knew what this was, the Cryosaur. We saw a wooden version of this absolutely curb stomp its way through, through a whole-ass, tournament. It did very well, because it's just fast as hell, has missiles, and it has a big nasty flamethrower on it, and it's actually quite well armored. It's, don't be fooled by its looks. This is a heavy armor brick, like a moderately sized heavy armor brick, but a heavy armor brick nonetheless. And it just happens to be the kind of thing that the Gremlin actually struggles to hit at all, really, because well, it struggles to hit it because the Gremlin has horrible accuracy. Really, the Gremlin is a lot better against smaller stuff because it closes in and shoots at point blank. Against larger stuff, and especially larger stuff that moves like this. Yeah, damn good thing I didn't have cram cannons on this, otherwise it would just miss every shot, and then the Cryosaur would get closer and barbecue it. And, yep, so this fight lasted a really long time. In fact, the Cryosaur proceeded to chase that one Gremlin literally across half the map, like, because, the Cryosaur is faster than the Gremlins, I think, but, the thing is, it keeps, like, zipping back and forth and, like, taking the long route to get there, so to speak. And it was a very long fight. I sat through all of it. And here, at this point, I was just hoping and praying to Canoe Jesus, or Kinesis, if you will, that this thing would run aground. But whoever built this thing knew what they were doing, because this thing neatly sidled around, like, basically every... Yeah, it sailed around every sandbar. Like, my craft would absolutely have committed... Grizzly Sudoku on those sandbars, but this thing zips right around them, so much for that plan. Incidentally, I can't really control the Ailstorm Gremlins at all, because that's part of which I'm trying to do with this fleet, is try and set them up so they just do what they're supposed to. So this is sometime later. This is actually the second Ailstorm Gremlin, not the first one. I pulled that one out of play because it was almost running out of materials. And basically, the Cryosaur is now going the other way across the map and pursuing this Gremlin. And more shots are landing now because the Cryosaur is actually, like, slower. It's had its propellers shot off by this point. But yeah, so, like, it's difficult to have a starter vehicle have, like, significant fire, but missiles tend to be kind of good for starter vehicles. And Lord knows, I am kind of tempted to just stick one large missile onto the Gremlin. That would make it more expensive, but also, like, it would make a huge amount of difference, especially when fighting things like this. And also, I should mention that with this fleet, by request, actually, like, I'm not using EMP. Just, I don't know, I don't need the self-imposed challenge, really, but, EMP is just one of those things, is like, if something is defended against it, it does basically nothing. And finally, the Cryosaur is sinking. That took a long time. I think what happened there is just the hydrofoils got damaged, the custom jets dipped into the water, and then it sank, so thank goodness. But yeah, and like things that are vulnerable to EMP are just killed too easily, so I'm avoiding EMP. I might change my mind if I get too frustrated. I have done that before. I've done that in when I played through the Caravonian Rebellion. That took a hot second, but yeah. Right, so now that we've dealt with the Cryosaur, and there's that little resource node still being completely undefended, need to resupply one of the Gremlins, and this time, the foe, the mighty foe, defending that resource point is something they can actually handle. It's a Falcon Squadron, so this whole fight reminded me of, like, I don't remember where I learned this, so take it with a pinch of salt. So apparently, at one point, the US Air Force did experiments with how well helicopters... well, basically how well fighter jets do against helicopters in a dogfight. Like, so we're not talking long-range missiles, we're talking, like, closing to gun range and, like, you know, bobbing and weaving and all that stuff. And the fighter jets lost horribly, as it turns out, to the point where it is now, like, doctrine that, like, you have to engage, like, attack helicopters, like, at a safe distance. Because who would have thought the thing that is so maneuverable that it can, like, move forwards, backwards, and sideways, and can tilt up and down, almost as much as it likes, maybe not that much, is really good at maneuvering. But yeah, so the Gremlins, like, absolutely laugh at little fighter planes like this. This is one of the main things they're good at. Despite the fact they don't have a hit scan weapon, they just, you know, they just close in on anything smaller than them and they just shoot the hell out of it. And this Gremlin has decided that, yeah, that factory has to go. And, yeah. Also, shout out to myself, the armor on the Gremlins isn't great. It's a whole bunch of stone poles, just for, like, token air gap, while also being compact and cheap. But it does the trick, because I believe the Falcons shoot tiny, tiny heat shells. And, against planes designed like themselves, that works pretty well. Doesn't work against the Gremlins at all, because it means those shells have to hit, like, dead on in order to penetrate. And they tend not to hit dead on. And this is just, I don't know, it's just the coolest thing. These helicopters just, like, maneuvering around. I'm really fond of, like, small, cheeky frontsiders. Like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't have it in me to build flying bricks. It requires too much, like, forethought. I like my frontsiders small and gremlin-y, I guess. They tend to work a lot better, and also because, like, it means that, like, it makes your small, cheap craft even smaller and cheaper. Only problem with the Gremlins is, like, really... honestly, I should swap out the Sabot frag on them. No, I shouldn't, because that's the problem. It's like, there's only so much you can do good on. And yeah, you didn't miss anything there. It's just the Gremlins peppering that hub, like, fruitlessly for the longest time. And finally, accidentally, like, sniping the AI. So there you go. Battle finished. Battle finished, jolly good. And then we have to hurry up and, like, take the friggin' resource zone as fast as possible. And I do have to say, that reminds me, I need to put the tool up on the workshop. I should actually, when I'm mostly happy with things, put them up on the workshop. Because the tool does its job wonderfully. Like, someone asked in the comment section the other day, it's like, where can I get the tool blueprint? It was like, well, you know, I put things on the workshop when people ask, and the tool is a useful tool. Alright, so what's happening now is that we're basically surrounding that iceberg logistics hub, and my hope at this point was to intercept the cargo craft. Because that is a winning early campaign move, is to just kind of snipe the resource carriers. Because that prevents them from moving resources around to where they're going to build big scary stuff and, like, murder you. Which is a shame, because it means you don't get to see the big scary stuff, but meh. Alright, so this fight takes approximately a million years, because the gremlin gets the job done, but against larger things, it does take a while. And I remember the Sacrilego from, again, actually quite handy for ship knowledge to do those silly easy craft tournament-y type things. Oh, this is me just trying to help the gremlin along, except the gremlin shots are so inaccurate that, like, you get basically the same results from manual aim and just letting it do its thing. So that'll teach me. That's karma. So you see, a lot of those shots are just whiffing horribly. I think the accuracy of those guns when the thing is maneuvering is like about 40%, as in only 40% of the shots hit at all. So yeah, like, the gremlin's not perfect. She does the job, but yeah, it takes a while. Thank goodness she's pretty material efficient, because otherwise it would burn through resources like crazy. But yeah, the Sacrilego, I remember that from like the easy tournament, like, and ye gods, like, I love the Steel Striders, everyone does, but man, their easy craft might be a little bit too easy. Like, I sometimes feel like the lower difficulty craft, like, kind of get neglected by the Kottals a bit. Like, I guess it's because people tend to complain that, like, oh, the Kottlies aren't Kottly enough, and then the Kottals are like, alright, you whiny person, let's see how you like this, and then they build the Laniakea, and then I, who wasn't complaining at all, am like, oh, why have you done this to me? Why, you think I haven't been a bad boy, have I? Sorry, that was weird. Also, it's hilarious to see, like, the gremlins sped up like this, because it's like, brrrr, zip, 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 zip. I like helicopters. Helicopters are fun. So anyway, yeah. Just, I think the easy craft, like, they don't have to be made hard, obviously, but it's just like, seriously, anti-munition warheads for the main weapon at a low gauge, jeez. That's a little bit too, that's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. It should be able to at least damage itself, I reckon. I actually think if you put, like, the Sacrilego against itself, it would really struggle to kill itself. Which is a weird thing to say, actually. In a fight, would you be able to kill... In a fight against your doppelganger, would you be able to kill yourself? That's actually not a fun thought, so I'm not going to pursue that thought any longer. But let me know in the comments if you think that you could... take on yourself in a fight. Right, so now what's happening is that I've cheekily... Here's one of the benefits of having, like, really fast resource gatherers, is that you can just go and harvest resources from zones you don't actually control yet. And the split second that, like, you know, the police show up to chase you away, you run away and they can't do anything about it. And the tool is just very good at that, because, like, over 100 meters per second, most things can't catch it. And those things that can catch it tend to have trouble killing it. Most things. Alright, and you'll notice that this whole fight is sped up as well, because same diff, the gremlin just kind of shoots at it for, like, approximately a million years. And, should have, like, I tried to get it to aim at the AI, but like I said before, the gun, when that thing is maneuvering like that, it just don't... Eventually the AI got sniped. And, this actually skipped over a lot of stuff, a lot of fiddling around. That's a Wolin, moving around the map, and I have, past trauma from the Wolin, because the one time I tried to do a very hard campaign, a Wolin showed up and was basically torpedo-proof, and I panicked and rage quit. I'm not proud of that, but, yeah, the Wolin, I respect the Wolin. It's the kind of submarine that, if you're used to just throwing torpedoes at things and making your problems go away like that, you're gonna have a bad day. And also, by the way, I am trying to remember to give call signs to my individual vehicles so that we get fond of them. And so there's proper drama when they die. So yeah, what did I call them? I think Fish Stew and Happy Fisher is like, yep, that is what I called my torpedo bombers. And I don't remember if Creeping Death is actually like a metal band name. I hope it is, because otherwise I might have broken my own rules, but it's okay. Creeping Death is good. Also, I like, as much as I like my stock black and whites crafts, I do like the aesthetic of this metal fleet. It is like, here's the thing, it is basically like how Ireland Gaming did it back in the day. It is like how Robust did it in the day. Hell, it's like how, Maury, who has done, I don't know, I think Maury's busy with just, like, life. but their aesthetics was also like lots of red and black. Red and black's a cool color. And this is where I was a little bit scared because of the amount of interceptors and the amount of seawers. But thankfully, a pair of Creeping Death torpedo bombers is enough to take on one Wolin, thank goodness. And also, I might have overthought the anti-submarine warfare thing, because as it turns out, the sharp-eyed among you might notice that the Creeping Death is basically, it's the ice current. It's the thing that I use to play through Steel Sovereigns. It's just an all-round. It's not a perfect design by any means. I wouldn't call it perfect, but it does the job, and it does the job really well. Like here it is taking on a hard submarine that's actually got pretty good torpedo defense. It turns out that if you just drop a whole bunch of large torpedoes, like spread out around it, coming at it from all directions, it does the trick really nicely. So, like squadrons of these things can even take on things like black currents. And I believe they've actually think that if you have enough of them, they can take on any godly submarine, which is very, very handy. Things will get tricky when actual fleets of enemy craft show up, but like there's ways around that. So long as you pick and choose when the fight happens, you can basically win every fight. It's very convenient. So yeah, Wolin dead, and that was a huge relief to me actually, because like I said. The Wolin surprised the hell out of me back in the day, and I remember the builder was well pleased by my reaction to it. It's like, because at that time, like, I didn't put it together that you can have, like, underwater seaways guns, and I'm like, what the hell, that's cheating! It isn't, by the way. Underwater seaways on a submarine in front of the depths works bloody well, and when I build submarines for the metal fleet, I'm absolutely going to stick one on there. I think I am also going to have to revert to my base canoe self for the remaining things, because, well, you'll see. You'll see why I'm feeling that way at the moment, because A, I build canoes really fast, and, like, did I say A or B? A, I build them fast. B, they come out better. I don't know why. I guess I have, I nearly said a canoe-shaped womb, but that's, like, one of the worst things a human being has ever said. So, good thing I didn't say that then, eh? Alright, so... Oh yeah, one convenient thing about the Creeping Death is that because it's functionally identical to the missile bomber I have, you can retrofit them back and forth, like, really easily. The torp bomber is just a little bit more expensive because the torps are slightly longer than the missiles. And the Before the Dawn might be one of my favorite craft I've ever made. This is the, what's this? This is not the Retribution, what's it? The Predator X. Damn cool plane. And this is actually, like, really the kind of ideal form of broadsider, actually. It's this fast thing that orbits like this. Broadsiders are best fast, so they get behind things. That is my personal philosophy, and it has served me well. And this is where, because here's the thing, I know those missiles can catch the Predator X, but because it's going for the Gremlin for some stupid reason, like, it just means that the missiles are, like, trying to... I don't know, I needed to get the Before the Dawn in front of the Predator X, and that just wasn't working, because although the Before the Dawn is faster, but it's gonna take so long, and I realized that the frickin' Gremlin wasn't actually helping that much either. It's really a, what were those two ironclads in the American Civil War that couldn't damage each other because their armor was too thick? What was it? Is the USS Monitor and the CSS Virginia, I think it was? I don't remember. But anyway, the kind of thing where they can't hurt each other, basically. Except in this case it's because of evasion, because both the Gremlin and the Predator X are, like, quite evasive. So yeah, don't worry, I managed to engage my massive, tiny brain, eventually, and figure out the solution to this, which you will see very shortly, hopefully. Also, it is kind of irritating how, I don't know how you'd fix it, how when you do the camera lock-on, control caps lock, it always seems to prefer locking onto projectiles rather than the actual frickin', what do we call it, the craft. So yeah. I do like the Predator X, though. I think it's really cool. And that was me realizing, oh, damn it, I can't do that. Can't do that at all. So many missiles wasted. It's also weird that, like, the Icewind, the Ice Current, the Before the Dawn, and the Creeping Death, which are all basically the same plane, by the way, just reskinned and tweaked differently. They're weirdly material efficient for something with custom jets and large missiles. It's like, it's weird. They do better than, like, other things. Mostly because, like, when large missiles hit something, they stay hit. It's very nice. Also, gotta love a specialized thing. And this is the point where I'm like, alright, no, this is, like, let's use our brains a little bit. Because I believe the circling distance of the Predator X is shorter than that of the Before the Dawn. You thought, yeah, I thought I would have trouble, like, saying Before the Dawn, like, over and over like that. By the way, that is a band. It's decent. I actually have been listening to the metal bands that people have suggested as names. And, yeah, I probably will call something the Sabaton. I don't know what. I think, like, part of me just wants to say, oh, screw it. There is actually a pressing need for, like, a proper cram battleship type thing. Because, and we'll get into more detail, they're really good for taking out big fortresses, as it turns out. Because they're just material-efficient damages, and fortresses can't move. So yeah, this is me setting up my patrol route. Cheeky patrol route. With the Woland dead, and also that Predator X dead, I feel like, oh, and there's a Hake Squadron, which is exactly the thing that the whatchamacallit, that the Gremlin loves fighting. Just let the belt feeders load, just let the belt feeders load. Yeah, one of the awesome things about, like, having a front-sider, little front-sider like this fight planes is because the planes fly directly at it, and then the front-sider backpedals, which basically lengthens the time they spend flying directly at you, like, at the barrels of your guns. So, yeah, it's like, the Gremlin is, like, for something that doesn't have a laser, it's really good at shooting down little planes like this. It would struggle greatly against, I'm trying to think, what's a fast orbiter that's a lot bigger? Well, Lightning Hood stuff naturally would murder the Gremlin because, like, it's a small little fella. And I've learned the hard way it does not do well against lasers. It does have smoke and a shield on it, but, yeah, nah, it's, doesn't do super good against lasers. Not at all. Does great against these little planes, though. Rather proud of that. And it just switches targets quite easily, and this Hake is gonna get some lovely little AP heat and Sabot-frag rounds right where it hurts. Yes, this thing uses Sabot-frag, don't judge me, it works. See? That Hake just evaporated. And that Hake just tried to do a kamikaze, and it did not work. Collision damage is weird in this game. Although I guess it makes sense. If a smaller, lighter thing collides a big, heavy thing, the big, heavy thing's like, what? And the small, lighter thing doesn't say anything because it's frickin' dead, mate. Alright then, so yeah, there's a lot of this kind of stuff, just expanding the cargo fleet, and again, here's the thing, I kind of both love and hate setting up these little cargo trade routes. But yeah, I'm not doing the box thing. Yeah, so that front-sider, by the way, the front-side battlecar, I've been working on this on and off. If you're in the Patreon Discord, I would have shared, like, work-in-progress screenshots of this thing. I shared that also, like, in the channel posts for members. Just randomly dropping that's a thing you can do. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. Like, I tried to, like, break. I didn't want to make yet another hydrofoil canoe, and yet that's what I'm going to end up doing anyway, because that's what I'm good at, apparently, and that's what makes my brain happy. And this is a Spirit. The Spirit is also something that kind of worried me. This thing can be kind of a pain in the arse, because it flies high, it flies fast, and it just... I think what happened here is that the thing just spawned too high and, like, scuttled, which is embarrassing. So you see there, its missiles are dropping, and, like, yeah, it just... I don't think a single missile hit. I didn't see any damage numbers at the time. So yeah, that was, oops. Oopsie poopsie. Devs, From the Depths is, like, weirdly... I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but, like, the things are not working super good. This game is very difficult. And that's just me sending my, basically sending a scout out to see if there's any little fortresses I missed. There was, as it turns out, but it wasn't where I thought it was. Water's very good. Right, so that was a massive time skip right there. Basically nothing happened for the longest time. It's weird, though, because every single one of these HQs had enough resources to spawn nasty, nasty stuff. So, yeah, but instead they spawned a tiny thing like the Retribution. And this is on the hardest difficulty, by the way. I don't know why they're doing this. I guess they're just set to not overdo it, I guess. They could have spawned, like, a frickin' Thresher Shark whenever they liked. And it would have been, it would have killed me dead. And the Retribution is always fun. I believe this is an easy design. And it's great fun, because it explodes in a manner most pleasing. Yep. I think that fire is going to eat into something Yep, there you go. Kablooey. And battle finished. Hooray! Hooray for the Before the Dawn, hooray for the Ailstorm Gremlin. Cue metal music right now. So yeah, it's just like this, a lot of this is just watching my little cargo fleet go around and getting that damn frontside working. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your tax for free. Also, one thing about campaign is like wanting to test this my new big thing. Don't laugh. Was like just the little details that it's easy to forget, like the resource zones and stuff like that. And here it is. This was just quickly me realizing, all right, there's ICBM platforms on that, on the base we're going to run away and deal with. So there's your little sneaky peeky of the front side battleship thing. Battle carrier, I should say, because it just spawns in, what is that? That is the Kitakami. This thing, the Kitakami is one of those things, is like, because it doesn't cost like a zillion materials, people don't think about it that much. I could be wrong. But I've run into that thing before in campaigns, and ye gods, if you don't know what to expect, it's a rough time. And this thing, like, I don't know, it's like the Kitakami. I respect the Kitakami greatly. Mostly that stupid particle cannon on. This is a little reminder, actually, that I probably should EMP proof the Ailstorm Gremlin a little bit more, because it actually gets AI sniped by this thing multiple times because of that little pack there. Yep, there it goes. Stone wasn't good enough. Should rubberproof it. And thank goodness for large torpedoes. Like, seriously, thank Canoe Jesus. Caneezus. And that's me looking at the Ailstorm Gremlin and thinking, that one repair bot can probably repair the AI, so I'll just leave it. So it's just like he's knocked out, but he's fine. So yeah, that's me checking that the repair bot is still there. The solitary repair bot is just sitting there, and they're just going to do things. And interestingly, the bombers are like way more resistant to that pack than the Ailstorm Gremlin was, and I think it's just because they use rubber rather than stone. So yeah. Yeah, so the Kitakami is, like, damn good at shooting down missiles, by the way. It is not so good at shooting down torpedoes. It, in fact, struggles a lot with shooting down torpedoes. Yep. There she goes. Well, not quite. Alright, so one propeller blown off. Very nice, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And, yeah, this, me checking on the Gremlin, like, crippled at 99% health. I was singing the praises of the Gremlin earlier, but, like, yeah, nah, small stuff doesn't do well against EMP, and I really should really rubberproof some stuff. I should rubber. No rubber, no flubber, no bouncy. Yep, and just immediately, like, just telling the Gremlin, just aim for that thing, please. Just please, just aim for that. That little drone not only has a, like, decoy, like, buoy, it also has, like, decoys, like, in its body, so to speak. It has both kinds of decoys. It's a lot. And the Gremlin just got hit by something. I don't know what that was, even. I don't even know what that was. It might have been a missile, honestly. And once again, the Creeping Death has proven that if you spread out your torpedo volley, it works really damn well. And yep, that thing is on fire, and I don't know why. Yep, and now the gremlin is doing flippies. I wonder if it picked a fight with the penguin and lost, because if it did, that's embarrassing. And yep, and that's my cue to, alright, the gremlins had a good go. The Kitakami is marvelously compact, by the way. I need to have a look at this thing and just figure out, like, how the hell it stays afloat. Because, again, you look at something like this and it's mostly heavy armor, or so it seems, and you're like, how are you afloat? How are you afloatin'? And thankfully that little, what's it, the penguin drone? Yep, nope. Take that, you wanker. There you go. Alright. Gremlin is out for the count. It's like, alright, out you go. And yep, bit by bit, the Kitakami is getting like, this is, again, we're getting into why I don't believe in ships anymore, because the Kitakami is a great design. It really is. It's built very, very competently. Like, seriously, salute to whoever built this thing. But the mere fact that it's a ship means that it's slow, and it's vulnerable to torpedoes. Why would you be vulnerable to torpedoes when you could be not vulnerable to torpedoes? I'm ranting and raving a bit. It's just like, I don't know. I've never had much luck with ships in this game. I mean, I have. I've made some decent enough ships, I guess. What is the best kind of ship? What's the best kind of ship, honestly? Honestly, what's the... Honestly, I made a whole video on, like, ships versus airships, pros and cons. Honestly, probably the best ship is almost a submarine. It's just, it basically only has the weapons and detection poking above the waterline. Because if you're gonna use wet armor, aka water, as protection against missiles and lasers and all that nasty, nasty stuff, you might as well go the full hog, right? You might as well just be, like, hiding under the water like a very, very sensible coward. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll make a thing that it just has the cram turret above the water and that's it. But that just means the cram turret will get hit by literally everything. Unless you have... Actually, that'll make... Decoys will be strong. Alright, so what I'm saying here is that the ideal ship is actually a submarine. No one liked that. Everyone thumbs down that statement. Ships are cool, though, is the problem, which is why we all want to make them. I still want to make them, goodness knows. Alright, so the Before the Dawn, I don't think has really managed to make any shots, like, has landed any significant hits whatsoever. Simply because, like, you know, that the lambs and the seaways and the interceptors and all that jazz. Hooray for spreading out torpedo shots. Look at that, just getting peeled back like that. Take that! Honestly, to make good ships, and especially fast ships, I should really embrace the whole steam crankshaft thing. But I am allergic to steam, to a degree that even I don't fully understand, and I'm scared. Also, I'm used to my ships running aground all the time, so I'm, like, hesitant to use anything that works only in the water, and that is, again, that is a recent psychosis. Although I did get some decent practice in with this battle carrier thing, which I haven't been hyping it up, but you'll see it. You'll see it when you see it. And the trick with ships, I find, is just duct tape propellers on the underside. Or at least that's in ye olde tournaments that I remember watching. That's a bloody good Seaways. I need to steal that. Question, is small caliber AP heat, does that make better Seaways? It might do. Because I know that, what's it, the Buccaneer uses that, and that does a number on, like, all kinds of stuff. Yay, and there goes that last propeller. Take that. That's also why I'm kind of not a huge fan of, like, what's the term for it? Cranked steam, I guess? It's really, like, if you lose power, okay, that's one thing, but if you just lose one little block connecting the whole thing, then the whole thing falls to bits. I don't know. I just work here. In the From the Depths mines. Hi-ho, hi-ho. Building canoes we go. Building canoes, da-da-da. And damaging enemy territory, yes! Once again! This is actually, like, very reminiscent of, like, my playthrough of Steel Sovereigns, of which just, like, torpedo bombers and missile bombers just, like, carve through, like, whole fleets worth of ships, just because they're smaller, cheaper, faster, harder to hit, and they do reliable damage. So it's like, why would I build a ship? Guys, remind me why... please, remind me why ships are cool. Don't let me give up on the shippy dream. This is supposed to be boat game. Okay, then. What the hell just happened? Oh, right, I remember this. I think, oh, wow, the screen froze for a second and I panicked. I think I was... There were points in this recording where I literally walked away to, like, go to the bathroom or make a cup of coffee or something like that. And I think this bit, which apparently I forgot to speed up or edit out, like, I just friggin' future me. That's embarrassing. Quick, vamp. Vamp, vamp, vamp. Never mind, you don't need to vamp anymore. Things are moving again. Alright, so eventually I figured out that in order to, like, fill up your frickin' battle carrier, the damn thing actually needs to be set to be full up. That's something that, like, I constantly forget. And over there, that is actually a, what's it? That's a craftsman. Which means I'm like, wait, that means there's a, there you are, you little bastard. I see you. I see you. You running away trying to get money? I am the only person allowed to have money. I am Jeff Bezos. I am the billionaire person. All your money belonged to me. You can't have any. It's illegal. I bribed a politician to say it's illegal, and now it's fine. I don't like this joke. Somebody please post in the comments a better joke than the one I just made. Hee hee, look at the helicopter burning. Oh no, that helicopter pilot. He will never do a ballet class again. No! Anyway, off to murder his friends at that resource facility, and it's like, I felt like a complete dummy, by the way, because I missed this. And, it's actually quite fortunate I saw it at all, because, if they had managed to get a decent little trade network thing going there, they could have actually afforded to build something big. And you'll notice that this footage is, like, still sped up, because frickin' this thing barely fights back at all. Like, I am at the point in From the Depths where I am jaded, and, like, yeah, no, you don't even get to see it despawn. You know what that looks like. Probably could have skipped that fight entirely, but you had to see some kind of death happen. For your mental health, you must see From the Depths death. Ugh, I've been talking. You probably noticed I've been talking, and if you haven't noticed that I've been talking, you might want to actually turn your sound on, except you can't hear me if your sound's off, so I just want to say, I think you're a lovely person, and you deserve better than what you've got. Ha! You thought I was going to be mean! Take that, idiot! Anyway, here's the front side of Battle Carrier. It is 9, horribly Tetris, yep, 2-clip Tetris, I'm sorry. 500mm, 8-meter long shells, guns, and that's me remembering that the thing's supposed to be a ship, with a big H on the back, so the Elstorm Gremlin knows where to sit. And I think I'll put this up on the workshop. I'm not going to use it, because, again, I'm not thrilled with it. The shells are not ideal for popping HQs. They're okay at popping ships and stuff, but, yeah, I actually mess around with the shells, like, live in combat later on. And yeah, the Iceberg Logistics Hub is just thick as hell. This thing, it's just big. It's big and chunky and spaced out. And yeah, so one particular thing. Also, I'm not a fan of the fact, like, I put a nuke spawner on this just because, like, I reasoned it's a ship. It kind of needs all the help it can get. And that is its main counter to, like, flying bricks and also submarines, is amphibious torpedoes. The nukes are actually pretty decent. They're not decorated, they're called metalheads because they're just metalheady, I guess. And one particularly annoying thing about suicide vehicles and fortresses is that the collision damage no worky. And it doesn't work on, like, sub-vehicles either, which is, like, It's like, why? Why? And I think it's just because the momentum's here. So I just go and I manually trigger this, because you can do that. You can just pause the game, go look at the tactical nuke, and set it off manually. But, like, you know, that does break the flow a little bit. Not the best. Also, I think this thing, like, constantly shoots itself. So yeah, this fight takes a long time, as, like, HQ fights tend to take a long time. And, there is a point where I'm like, I could have afforded, like, I could have had an entire squadron of Before the Dawns for the price of this bloody ship. So, yeah. Honestly, air power is best power. But what about the power of love, you say? And I say, exactly. And that is why the power of love is even better if you are in an airplane. Join the Mile High Club today. Achieve ultimate power. That was a weird thing to say, and I am slightly sorry. Not completely sorry. So yeah, it's, yeah, well, what to say? Why are you looking at the sky? Oh, right, I was looking for the nuke coming down. So this is basically how this fight goes. It's the battle carrier just, like, not really taking any damage. It's also, you'll notice that the stability, like, ricochets between being very stable and very unstable. So the kind of side strafing, I don't know why I did a hand motion there, because you can't see it. Okay, I'll do it on the microphone. There, could you hear that? Probably. Sorry if it was terrible. But anyway, like, it just kind of, one of the few advantages of ships is, like, they're stable, at least compared to other things. And that means that, like, if you make your ship unstable, that's the one of the few ship advantages you have that you're just kind of throwing away, which is a bummer. And yep, you did not miss anything there. It was just the same thing over and over, just slowly grinding down this big fortress. And this was a mistake, because I think from the depths, the game itself got confused and started spawning them in funny. So it's like there's a constant window popping up on the screen saying, like, this block's not connected. And that's just me sticking a ram on it, which does basically nothing against fortresses, so I'm not sure why I bothered. But I thought it just might be kind of fun to allow it to dig in a little bit. And, yep, once again. And what you missed there was me faffing around so much with... I think I'm still faffing around with it. Nope, I gave up faffing. I tried to set it so that it detonates when it gets close. Except that backfired, because these nukes have a bad habit of, like, getting really near the target and overshooting. And the ACBs don't cancel it. I guess you could. Yeah, I don't know why I was doing that. I think I was losing my mind at this point. Because, by the way, I recorded this whole campaign all at once, and it took about, like, 3 hours. So imagine... it's like 3 hours of mostly just staring at a screen waiting for things to conclude. Be it, yep, there's that warning. That pops up a lot. Get used to it. I had to. There's a lot of just sitting and waiting around, which is one of the problems with From the Depths, I guess, is like you spend so much time with the designer learning the game, and then, unless you bring like absolutely overwhelming firepower, which requires having excessive resources, the actual combat can take a really long time. So yeah, that's it's not a huge point in the game's favor, but like that's why, like, honestly, overkill is the best kill. And I think, actually, like, for the next campaign I do, I'm gonna make a point of, like, we are gonna make a point of trying to always outnumber the enemy, always bring more than you think you need, because while that's inefficient, it does, it's a lot quicker. And also means you lose less, which is jolly good. I could have made so many gremlins for the price of that stupid boat. And yay, disintegrations! Darth Vader will know. Boba Fett. Darth Vader says no disintegrations. Boba Fett says as you wish. Which means he wanted to disintegrate. But he's a professional. And he will not disintegrate if he's ordered not to. Why am I talking about, like, the oldest... When the hell was the first Star Wars movie? It was a long-ass time ago. Fun fact, I have not watched any of the new-ish Star Wars, and by new-ish I mean I think the new-ish ones. Like, what was the one? There was Revenge of the Sith, that was way ages ago. And then there was the new one with the new protagonist. Basically, the Disney ones. I have not watched the Disney ones, and I don't particularly care to, because I've seen the trailers of some of them, and I'm like, literally all live-action movie trailers, regardless of the genre, look the same these days. They look the same. They're all cut the same way. It's like, I don't know. Also, you don't need to watch the movie. Just watch the trailer and, like, you know what the movie's about. You can imagine it. You can imagine whatever you like. The power of imagination. You can imagine that the ending to the Disney Star Wars is everybody just, I don't know, having a cup of tea and going home. Or even just George Lucas waking up from the dream and being like, my goodness, that was strange. Oh well, I'll go make a good Star Wars movie for once. I am a nerd, aren't I? I'm still holding a grudge. Even though the first time I watched The Phantom Menace, I enjoyed it, bearing in mind I was a child. And children are easily amused. Like, I don't know. Actually, that's a little bit unfair. Like, adults are also easy to amuse. Come to think of it, adults are just children that got bigger. And less imaginative for the most part. Although I like to think that I have a decent imagination, except I try to stay within the confines of scientific plausibility, unless I'm actually inventing a fantasy world. By the way, future me, you better have remembered to do the book promo at the start of this, and if you haven't, this is the book promo. I recently self-published my second book. First one was Two of Rogues, 2 idiots running around a magical world, and Ace of Death is 1 idiot running around a magical world. Except he has a turbo genius who is a goddess also with him. So it's, I guess it's a similar thing. Basically, man and woman, or I guess a man and feminine entity in the case of Ace of Death, doing things. Ah, boy. So, right here is where I realize, oopsie daisy, the Damascus is not spawned in. Where are the bad guys? And then I see the nuke flying off, and I'm like, oh! Oh, there they are! And I don't know how this happens, and I don't know why this nuke does fly on target, but you'll see later that none of the others do. I think it actually gets hit with something, does it? Nope, it's bang on target, but like no other nuke does the trick. I don't know why. From the Depths is weird. This is like, I don't know, man, like, from the depths, from the depths, from the depths, it's from the depths, and I was really hoping at this point that the Steel Striders nukes would come in and try and collide with us and just collide with their own frickin' airfield. Unfortunately, they're slightly too smart for that, which is annoying. They have friendly collision avoidance on. It's like, yes, come, please, kill me. I'm right here, do it, kill me! Come on, I'm tasty! Take a big bite! Sorry. I know for certain you did not wake up this morning expecting to hear an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Sorry to disappoint you. Okay then. And there we go, kablooey. And then, over there, we have the Frontsider Battle Carrier. Which doesn't have a real name, is probably not gonna get one. And by the way, there's the warning. And by the way, it's a bloody miracle that these lasers did their actual job. Because it turns out I set them up wrong. At some point, I go and mess with them and realize that they've had the default setting of they are only fire when they're at 100% capacity, which is not what you want for a continuous laser at all. And also, this is me remembering, oh shakes, I didn't do terrain proofing, which is very important. This is another reason to not build ships, is because you have to worry about them colliding with land literally more than any other vehicle. Because, unlike other vehicles which fly above the land, ships drive straight into it. They do that a lot. It's also really like a point against surface broadsiders, because really they love driving into land. It's amazing. Which is why it was so impressive with the, the Chrysaor early in the video. Remember that? That was years ago. It was many moons ago that the tiny hydrofoil thing successfully evaded all the land, all the time. So yeah, these shells are not what you want for shooting something that is mostly hollow space, because they're AP heat. I actually swap out one of the shells for, I believe, Hesh at some point. I like swap out the shells, and I'm like, this is one of the few times playing a campaign that I'm like, I really miss cram cannons, because yeah, there's a big time skip here. Like, so in case you didn't notice before, that Liberator cannon, which is one of the scariest things that people tend to forget about, that was spawned right in the middle of the airfield, so probably a good idea we killed the airfield first, otherwise that would have been awkward. Again, from the depths, maybe it's just I'm noticing things. I think it's slightly scuffed at the moment. I mean, it's always a little scuffed, but there's bits and pieces hither and thither that's just kind of slightly scuffed. Yeah. Thankfully, the one point in the favor of this is that the battle carrier here, I have repeatedly like had a lot of ships damaged by Liberator cannons. Like, this is the kind of thing is like you thinking about the Megalodon and the Tyr and, like, I don't know, the other stuff like that that the Steel Striders have, and then remember you are pretty much guaranteed to run into a Liberator cannon at some point, and this is a doofy thing. It's just a big gun. It's just a big gun on a base, but those railguns hurt. That railgun hurts like hell if you're not ready for it. So yeah, just having an armored brute. I might just swap out the APS on this thing and call it Gary. Might as well. I might try that, actually. Maybe this isn't a complete wash so far. Maybe I'll replay this campaign off camera, and then I will, then we'll see. Maybe cram cannons would be better. Maybe I should just stick big APHE EMP. No, I can't use EMP. Just massive HE guns on it and just go like bang, 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 bang. I wasn't sure if this was going to be this fleet's equivalent of Gary the Monitor. It's tempting, honestly. I did have plans for a more ambitious Gary the Monitor, but like, meh. Also, Cram is a better airship weapon than ship weapon, I find. So I think Gary's gonna fly. I think I might take Snowman Gary, flip him upside down, and make him a flying thing. Because that will be funny. And hopefully the turrets don't get shot immediately. Lovely, 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 lovely. Actually, I really want to do that right now. Just gonna flip Gary upside down. Gonna flip Gary upside down. Gonna flip Gary upside down. Gary's gonna get flipped upside down. Gary's gonna get flipped upside down. He's not gonna like it. That is my Gary Gets Flipped Upside Down song, coming soon to absolutely nowhere. And at this point I'm like, okay, that does it. I'm sick and tired of this. We're gonna get the Before the Dawn in to just clean this up, because the front side of a battle carrier eats too much money. And at that point I panic a little bit like, oh god, they're gonna repair the bloody Liberator, aren't they? And good news, they don't quite manage it. And then this is just a long fight of just this missile bomber bombing a completely defenseless civilian buildings. This is a war crime. Do not do war crimes at home, kids. It is not very good. It's not very nice. Only do war crimes in video games, but even then, make sure your friends, well, maybe your friends are as sick and twisted as you, but make sure your family is not watching, because otherwise, they will judge you harshly. I just looked at the webcam, which is pointing the other way. I've been streaming too much. The webcam is currently pointed firmly away from me so that, you know, Bill Gates doesn't recognize my nostrils. Her. Bill Gates, I don't think, has anything to do with Microsoft anymore. I think he's off doing his own thing. Goodness knows what. So yeah, we're just gently burning civilian structures to death. And actually, that's a pretty good trick with the ICBM complex. Is just throw an expendable craft at the whole facility and let the ICBMs, like, do something useless. And now we get to see, thankfully, and not to spoil anything, the Damascus fight is actually kind of quick. Because by sheer dumb coincidence, we blow its brains out. Splendid. Splendid indeed. Okay then. Steel Striders. Steel Striders. And that's that nuke just going over here. I'm reasonably proud of this nuke, actually. Reasonably proud. And it's now stuck on the thing. And that was one of the best things I've ever seen. It's just like, hooray, you've solved the problem? Honestly, I might want to experiment with just putting stabilizing shells on those, on that, whatchamacallit, on the thingy. That thingy there. What's it called again? It's a ship. That's the one. Also, I sorely regret all the times I refuse to use shield projectors. Shield projectors are absolutely saving my bacon. And now, like, you'll notice that these shells are kind of more beefy. They're more HE on them. Yay, dramatic music. And completely useless heat. Just, blowing out the other side of a big hollow thing. And yay! Yonder tis a metalhead, and there's that freaking pop-up again. I won't be able to spawn in the metalhead, and there you go! Wait, no. Nope, it's not AI dead. It's not AI dead at all. I jumped the gun! Jumping the gun is unsafe. Do not do that at home, kids. Not even if you're an American, which do everything with guns. Did you know, and I realize I'm speaking to a mostly American audience here, did you know that Americans brush their teeth with guns? Did you know that they, fix their car with guns? Did you know that, they, instead of pool floaties, they use, floating guns? Available at your local Smith & Wesson store or something. I am full of bad jokes today, aren't I? You would also be full of bad jokes if you played 3 hours of, Steel Striders campaign and then were disappointed in your son or daughter. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh no, I know why. It's because... No, actually, no, I don't know why. I don't know why anything is real. And that's just me saving the thing desperately. It says, please, please, just... Please. Might need to stick an origin block on that thing to solve it from flashing that stupid warning up all the time. And then it's nice and snugly nestled in there, and once again I need to go find it and detonate it manually, because apparently we're not allowed to explode on fortresses. Although that is quite a neat gimmick, though. It's like... I wonder, do drills... Drills would do damage. Like, there's no cheesing the alarmed or something with a frickin' fortress, is there? Ah, dramatic music. I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, like, Sabot Hollow Point would be so nice right now. Oh my god, I know! I know, leave me alone! Leave me alone, leave me alone. And there's the nuke again. Dropping down. We're going down. I'm yelling timber. And it's AI dead. And at that point, I don't remember if I blow up the nuke there, but it's like, yay! Nuke is just having a little cuddle in there. Oh yeah, you can also do that. That also explodes the nuke. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I've won anyway, so it's like... But I kind of wanted to see the nuke just kind of fumble its way over here and do things. I don't know at what point it was that, like, collision damage doesn't really work on fortresses anymore. I don't know. When did that happen? Because I think it used to. Or not, I don't know. I might be, like, this might be, me just this might be me misunderestimating things. Misunderestimating things. Misundermutating things. Misunder-potato things. Misunder-potato? Who's going under the potato? That seems ridiculous. That seems ridiculous. And unfair. And unreasonable! Who would do such a thing? Who would be under the potato? Yay, we won! I can finally shut up! Alright, so what did we learn from that? We need to EMP-proof the Gremlin a little bit more, and I made a ship that's, like, not satisfactory. So, there you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like, it really helps. And there's fun perks in it for you. There's a Patreon Discord. I will look at your ships at the mid tier. I'll build stuff for you or draw stuff for you at the highest tier. We do events now. We do building events that I'm having a lot of fun with because people are making just delightful little boats. Do check out my book, Ace of Death. It's very good. It took like 3 years to write that bloody thing. Admittedly, not working on it full time. And yeah, beautiful cover art. So at the very least, go look at that. And yeah, check out my other channels. Check out my Twitch. I'll see you next time in From the Depths. We're getting there. We're almost ready for Godly Neither, I reckon. So expect that one of these years. Farewell.